Hey everybody, this is just a quick video to show the equipment I use in my astrophotography and what I use to live stream on this channel and on Twitch as well. It's not going to be too long because I'm not going to go through my setup process. That will be done in a future video, so that way it would be in depth and give you guys start to finish without any questions, or start to finish and completion. And then obviously in future imaging sessions it'll just be a brief setup in the beginning of each video, because then you can refer back to the setup video to do the in-depth one. I will also provide a link and item list down below in the description so you can see where you can find the same items I have if they are still available. The telescope I particularly use is a used telescope. I bought it from a used market, so you can still find it, I think, at High Point Scientific. I can't remember if they still have them in stock, but they don't have many. But also, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below, or get a hold of me on my Discord, which will be provided in the description below so you can get added to it. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope to see you in future videos. Good evening, everybody. Getting ready to set up my telescope to image a comet tonight. That's supposed to be visible from the end of January to the beginning of February. And I figured I'd take this opportunity to show off my telescope. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. We're not going to drag this video out more than it needs to. This is the William Optics GT102 telescope. It's a refractor telescope. For some of you who may have been part of some training, the refractor is what most people use for astrophotography. Reflectors are usually what people use for viewing. I mean, you can do viewing with this too, but a lot of people use refractors for imaging, but we'll get into that maybe some other time. I don't want to drag this video out, and we're just going to cover what I got all on here. Here we got a 150 guy scope, William Optics as well, with the ZW ASI 120 Mini for a guide camera, all hooked up to my mount. A lot of stuff that's going to the laptop is all hooked up through this USB hub, that obviously the main cable to the hub and power cable to supply power. I got on a William Optics rail to get everything all mounted on. Forgive the clamp rings, they're upside down. And the telescope sits on top of this Celestron AVX equatorial mount, motorized, so I can guide everything with the remote down there. For my polar alignment, I'm lazy and I don't have time to actually go through polar alignment. There are people that criticize you for this, but I have a QHY polar scope, or polar cam, that I will show maybe later on how to polar align. I forgot the name of this, or the brand, but this is my viewfinder. What I use, it's a red dot, and there's actually a specific term for it. I'll annotate it somewhere on this specific name on this, that I use to spot when I do my star alignment, to get everything lined up for the mount so it knows where to look. And then back here, so this is a 3D printed object. I probably won't use it tonight, but we'll see, because after I'm done imaging the comet, I'm going to go ahead and image some nebulas and galaxies. But it's a filter wheel that's all 3D printed. It's just out of PLA, which is not recommended for outdoor use, but I just want to see if it's even worth spending money on good filament to work. But it's attached to the telescope, which then attaches to my Canon EOS 90D, and this is what I primarily use for now for imaging. I plan to get an astro camera sometime soon, which this is hooked up to that USB hub, which goes to the computer. Out here, not as important for astrophotography, is a Logitech C920 Pro that I have modified to be able to view in IR. So it's like a night vision camera. So you guys can watch when I stream. You can watch the mount do its stuff, and when I'm just doing stuff in the program, you're not all confused by what is happening. And then down here is the IR light I got to shine light onto. I don't know how everything's looking yet, because I just got this set up on the telescope, so that hopefully, I'm thinking in theory, because I don't think my Canon can see an IR, that when I take images, they won't pick up the IR light, but this webcam will, so you guys can watch. If it doesn't work, then I'll have to figure out like a way to shut it off.
Again, forgive the mess and telescope. This is my little mini observatory to protect me from the elements and to protect, most importantly, my computer from the elements. This is just an Acer laptop that I bought a long time ago for a deployment. Got it hooked up to a very old games case. I forgot what it's even called. Then I use that as a second monitor to do my guiding and work on my spreadsheet to keep track of my images I've taken and stuff. And it's all hooked up. All the power is hooked up to this, which runs back to my house. This is the mic I use for streaming. But here's another view of the telescope. But yeah, and I use Astrophotography tool to take my images, and PhD2 for guiding, and the QHI program for polar alignment. So I figured to give you guys, it's a nice cozy little tent. I bought it at Academy Sports. It's a Magellan tent that I got everything set up into. But here you go, guys. Just a very quick, short video of my setup. One of the things I'll get into in future videos is how I run everything from my desktop. This will, after I've done my star alignment, will plug into this remote, which again all works up into the laptop. And I use Astrophotography tool to control the telescope, so I don't have to come out here on cold nights, or if I'm trying to spend time with my wife and not spending too much time out here. It's a cheap alternative to buying something like an ASI Air Pro, which is like $300. That allows you to control your telescope from an app on your phone. So, but yeah, another future video I'll show you what my setup process for this. And what I do for imaging plans, and then we will go from there. So I hope you all enjoy. Give you another quick shot of my observatory. I plan to someday actually build a hardened structure for an observatory here, and that way I don't have to keep hauling this in and out of the garage back over there. So I hope you guys enjoy.